Big debate is going on right now regarding selecting the first pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. For the longest time, the player was selected to be Kayvon Thibodeaux, the edge from Oregon, the disruptor that he is. However, as of late, a new name is coming on, and that is the edge Aidan Hutchinson from Michigan. Both defensive ends, both pass rushers, both dominant players. In this video, I'm going to break down each individual side by side to give you a good idea of what both look like regarding stats, regarding measurements, regarding everything. We're going to analyze it, and then we're going to go overall what I think and what potentially a team like the Detroit Lions would think about selecting that pick. And you don't have to be a Lions fan for this video. Maybe you're a team with the second pick or a team who wants another player. One of these guys falls to them, and they would like to know a little bit about it. Let's go ahead and begin. Let's go ahead and do a side-by-side comparisons of each player profile. Go ahead and look at each position. Obviously, defensive end. You got Pac-12 and Big Ten. Now, we're getting into the height. They're both 6'5". When it comes to the weight, though, Kayvon Thibodeaux is a little bit slender at 258. You look at Aidan Hutchinson, he's 270 pounds, 12 pounds heavier for the senior out of Michigan. With that said, he is younger. We're talking about Kayvon Thibodeaux. He is 20 years old to age 21. You say, that is not that big of a deal, but if you look at the Detroit Lions draft, one of the reasons, of the many reasons they selected Penei Sewell, is he was a younger athlete, one of the youngest in all of college, and they made that a statement, talked about it multiple times by Brad Holmes. So, you have a little bit slender when it comes to Kayvon Thibodeaux, and a little bit older when it comes to Aidan Hutchinson. Comment on the video, who do you want, Kayvon Thibodeaux or Aidan Hutchinson? Put in the comment section KT for Kayvon Thibodeaux, and for Aidan Hutchinson, AH. Let me know, who do you want for that pick? Let's look at some of the attributes regarding their speed. Now, for the 40 time, it's projected Kayvon Thibodeaux runs a 4.5. Aidan Hutchinson projected 4.64. We'll get the real totals when the NFL Combine comes, but Thibodeaux is a little bit faster. Vertical jump, though, Thibodeaux is 29.6. When it comes to Aidan Hutchinson, he's 36. You say, why will that even matter? Well, they're trying to bat some balls down. That could be something that will help them out. Arm size, 35 1/8 inch. A little bit smaller for Thibodeaux. Arms for Aidan Hutchinson, 35 3/4. Hands, we got 10 inches for Thibodeaux. It is unknown for Aidan Hutchinson at this time. We'll have to wait till the NFL Combine to get a full information on that size. Wingspan, 6 foot 10 inches. Wingspan for Hutchinson is 7 foot 1 inch. We look at this, there's a couple positives, couple better looks, more speed for Thibodeaux, but more physical size for Aidan Hutchinson. And that's important for whatever team they go to have what type of scheme do they want to go into. Do you want to be a more universal? That would be more Kayvon Thibodeaux. He's not just an edge. He can bounce back. Aidan Hutchinson, he is the prototypical edge. He's just going to go after the passer. He's not going to do all the crazier stuff. Now, let's look at stats. When it comes to stats, it is a little bit skewed, folks, because of injuries. We've had injuries with Aidan Hutchinson being out for some time in 2020, as well as injuries to Kayvon Thibodeaux. But let's go side by side. In 2019, he had 24 solo tackles, 34 solo tackles for Aidan Hutchinson. He is better there. Solo tackles in 2020 obviously is going to be better with Kayvon Thibodeaux. He wasn't out a lot of the time like the 9-2 Hutchinson, and both 32 this year. In 2019, 11 assisted for Thibodeaux, 34 assisted for Aidan Hutchinson, as well as 15 assisted in 2020, 4 for Hutchinson due to injury, and 14 so far in 2021 to 22 right now for Aidan Hutchinson. Sacks. Now this one's very interesting here. In 2019, Thibodeaux did much better. 9 sacks, obviously better in 2020 with 3. And 6, though, in 2021. Again, there's a little bit of injury history this year. He's been dealing with some of that. In 2021, though, you look at Aidan Hutchinson, he has 12 sacks, and that is really good for him. And he just got 3 sacks out of the Ohio game this past week. Forced fumbles, we have 1 for Thibodeaux in 2019, 2 for Hutchinson in 2019, 0 both in 2020, and 2 so far in 2021. Total 35 solo tackles, 38 solo tackles, and 46. Right now for Aidan Hutchinson in 2019, 68, 13, and 54. The stats right here looks better for Aidan Hutchinson regarding getting to the quarterback and making some tackles. But that's not all the stats. What about players getting to the quarterback and getting those pressures? Go ahead and smash that like button. All you got to do is hit that like button. It helps push the video out there. And maybe some individuals who would like to compare between Kayvon Thibodeaux and Aidan Hutchinson will have something to look at and give them a good concept of how these players look alike against each other. Now let's get into a stat that is not talked about a lot. If you look at the stat sheets and ESPNs, a lot of these times you can't see this magnificent, very important stat that goes to defenders here, quarterback pressures. And this is vital towards the success of a defensive line. Just because a player does not get all the sacks in the world doesn't mean they're not making a presence. Pressure forces the quarterback to throw the ball early, make mistakes, everything good if you're on a defense. In 2021, right now, Kayvon Thibodeaux is number 2 at 19.5% pressure. That is very good regarding every single time he's going after the quarterback, making the quarterback throw the ball early and not step in the pocket. The stat that's really important for Thibodeaux going forward. Now when it comes to Aidan Hutchinson, his current percentage right now is 17.8, a little bit below, still very good, top 10 in college, but against Ohio, he had 15 pressures with an astonishing 28.3% pressure rate. Insane right there. That is something on a different level. So while his stats are a little bit down regarding the whole season, it came up during a very important big game. So they're both making a real big impact regarding the defensive line, and not a whole lot separates the two, except for Kayvon Thibodeaux gets a little bit up here. When we talk about Aidan Hutchinson, he is a smooth athlete for his stature. He offers surprising body control with his lean fluidity in space despite his long frame. He's impressive presence along the line of scrimmage. He was stacked predominantly playing anchor defensive end with Michigan's defense. Center depending on the down and distance. His system implemented plenty of scheme pressures, overload opportunities up front, several which featured Hutchinson in numerous alignments. Hutchinson is a power rusher, but he offers good release in line of scrimmage, rushing as well, offers heavy hand success to bubble point, and attacking before transitioning before his blocks. There is some issues, though, with his inexperience, as well as leg injury that cut his season in half in 2020. Hutchinson will need to continue diversify his pass rush palette in order to hit the ceiling for his player. He thrives to date with his short area quickness and converting speed to power to collapse the pass sets. Getting him into more savvy counters and swipes and unlock his whole new level to get him better on third downs. When we look on Kayvon Thibodeaux, he aligns as an edge defender in Oregon's defensive front. He is a very good athlete regarding to his body control, quickness, agility, pass rusher. In the game, he's good, but he's an area where he can improve specifically regarding getting off the blocks and the ball carrier. He's becoming a better tackler in the open field, and he's beneficial as well. In his passing game, he's exceptional, extremely disruptive. Although he's aligned in the 4 base set, he does a good job playing with leverage and holding his point of attack against double teams. He is best suited on the edge, where he's very good initial quickness, athleticism. He can be a massive asset. Running backs cannot consistently chip him with success. He has good closing burst to the quarterback and has shown potential to finish rush with a sack. He's extremely talented edge defender. Athletically, can play edge position from any alignment. He is somewhat misused being aligned as 4-base set. While he can afford to play bore run consistently, he's an elite player with true schematic versatility. But con is, he does at sometimes looks like he takes plays off. When the ball is not coming his way, he does not seem to give all pursuit 100% of the way. Overall, both these prospects are really, really good. You got Aidan Hutchinson, the riser. He's getting the sacks, but last year he did lose half the season with an injury. And again, when it comes to quarterback pressures, that is something you always want to have. It's not the greatest stat in the world, but it is good to use in games. We see it all the time. He's got that big body frame. He's a big beast, good with rushing and getting to the quarterback. When it comes to Kayvon Thibodeaux, yes, he doesn't have all the sacks in the world, but he gets after the quarterback. He forces the quarterback to throw a little bit early. And he has a body that's extremely well when it comes to the size and frame and fluidity to get to the quarterback. He's got that initial burst, a really good burst to get off the line and get after the quarterback. To me, both these prospects are very good. It just depends what type of system do you want. Do you want a versatile player with Kayvon Thibodeaux, or do you just want that bull rusher on the edge like Aidan Hutchinson? They both will be a dominant player, in my opinion, in the NFL. For the Detroit Lions, they have to look at all these pieces of information and determine what one is best for them. I like a little bit more of Aidan Hutchinson. That is my personal preference. With that said, it's 1A and 1B. We're talking about splitting hairs here. So either way, they're going to be great prospects. It does kind of remind you of Gerald McCoy and Ndamukong Suh, yet those were interior defensive linemen. This time, it's defensive ends. In the upcoming videos, we got the OnePride podcast tomorrow on my channel, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you got questions, come on and throw it to us, to the panel. We will answer them with the mailbag segment. And on Sunday, Detroit Lions versus Minnesota Vikings. Live watch party. Going to be a fun time. Come on down and show up regardless who wins or loses.